So now we're going to actually wrap up the Hofstede's cultural dimensions information. A few other things to keep in mind when we're looking at these types of dimensions are that we want to work in the current cultural environment. So managers need to understand, recognize traits and constraints, and determine which conditions will help or hinder the performance of the company and their employees. If we change our behaviors, then our mind is going to follow. So if you change your behavior, other people will kind of follow. Your whole being will follow that. And we want to focus on critical behaviors so that we can change those critical behaviors that have the most impact on people and their practices and performance. We can also use informal leaders in our behaviors in helping within the workplace. This helps create buy-in and influences others as well. We don't want to give formal leaders any slack. However, we want to be upfront in an organization and make sure that everybody's on their toes and link our behaviors to our objectives. We want to offer evidence of cultural objects through tangible, well-defined examples. So whatever might be going, if we're trying to help correct a situation, you want to provide the exact examples of what is not maybe necessarily as good of a behavior as maybe trying to do something a little different. We want to demonstrate quick response. You want to take action immediately and not wait a week to talk to somebody about a situation. And then remember that ideas can come anywhere from within a corporation. They can come top down, bottom up. Hofstede's cultural dimensions allow for us to, focus on trying to use different organizational methods for communication. We want to align our efforts to our behaviors to match them with existing cultural components and continue to manage cultural situations, making sure to monitor, manage, care for, and update the incentives as we go along. And we're going to move on here now to some different best practices for diversity on the management side of things. And this will kind of wrap up our information today. We want to reiterate that cultural differences produce better making decisions and abilities and competitive advantages within a company. That's been proven through different studies, and so it's just good to reiterate that, keep that in mind as management. We want to have those diverse workforces. We want to make sure that we're watching for some mistakes in our diversity management and changing those so that we don't have different problems as we go along. Some of these items are cross-cultural misunderstandings and knowing your audience and providing feedback. Again, sort of reiterating what we spoke about earlier on in the presentation here, but we want to use different communication styles and common languages so that we can avoid misunderstandings based on cultural differences. Delivering timing is important with your feedback. You want to do it right away and not wait a week. Direct language with task-directed examples versus a less direct approach with relationship-oriented feedback. So making sure that you're, letting people know exactly what it is that you want them to do and change, or something that they're doing well and that you want them to continue. Keep in mind that English language is very confusing. We say football here in the United States, but in like Brazil, it's actually called soccer. So just being aware that there can be different word meanings in different countries. And then we want to watch our tone when we're speaking with people, especially to women. Some tones can be found offensive, and our culture here in the United States can be shocking to other people. The way that, especially maybe younger generations interact with older generations is very baffling to, say, someone from maybe like China or something. So, and then just being aware and having background information on your employees and on the cultures you're dealing with, whether it be in the U.S. or globally. We want to make sure that we know what their culture definitions are, how they greet one another, how they view time, how they view interactions, how they may eye contact in some countries may be considered of a sexual interest, or hairstyles might be different from one place to another. So being aware of all those different things as we work in management and bring our company to the forefront, and just being able to work with everybody within our workforce to make it a coherent and nice place to work, where everybody's happy and everybody's comfortable. You also want to know your audience when you provide feedback. Sometimes women are thought to be abrasive in their feedback tones. Managers need to monitor specific feedback styles. Some cultures prefer the direct communication with bold, blunt terms versus other cultures where they may like a softer approach to their feedback. The ultimate goal is to provide effective feedback to everybody, and we may need to change our communication styles to ensure that effectiveness. We need to know our audience, what their needs are, and understand how to adapt our information that we're trying to get across to them so that everybody is successful. It's important to note that oftentimes women receive 20% less feedback because people don't want to offend them, so try not to do that. This doesn't help. We want to improve their performance, and you can't do that if feedback is vague and non-specific. We want to make sure everybody's receiving equal, important, and relevant feedback to help them succeed. And when we're delivering feedback, just follow a couple of simple rules. Ask the employee if they're open to feedback at that time. If it's not a good time, maybe later in the day, or set a specific time to meet with that employee. Be specific and detailed on whatever the incident or issue might have been, and then the impact of behavior on others, how their behavior affects everybody else within the company, and then whatever the next steps might be. So how can we take corrective action and ask questions so that we can work together to get that problem taken care of. Some best practices in diversity for management is to create diversity initiatives, and we want to hire a diverse workforce. This is what our plan is. We're going to increase female executives, we're going to form some diversity task force, and we're going to create some diversity policies. We want to set some specific goals to ensure the measure of success for diversity, and we want to do some recruiting to target the females to meet our requirements that we've set for our benchmarks. We also want to keep in mind Maslow's hierarchy, where we want to meet everybody's needs within the company before moving on to the next stage of what they may need. And in this hierarchy looks at physiological needs, which are basic needs, safety needs, which is like shelter and food. Belonging is belonging within a workplace where people are comfortable. Esteem is providing people with the ability to be better at their jobs and move on and feel good about what they are doing. And then self-actualization is realizing that they can expand their horizons. We're also going to look at some well-defined diversity standards. We want to eliminate any surprises or confusion from different cultures. We want to have policies in place for non-English speaking individuals so that we can help them within our company to succeed as well. Diversity training, we want to implement that into our company so that we can understand the impact of diversity in the workplace. We're going to hire new people, and we're going to go through those diversity standard inclusion measures and our policies that we have. We're also going to have annual compliance reviews of diversity training with ongoing initiatives. We're not just going to have here's the one class and you're done with everything. We're going to keep training, keep including, keep diversity alive within our workplace, so we can make everyone aware of what's going on and follow our diversity measures that we've got in place. And like Coca-Cola, they provide diversity training at different levels so employees can receive credit towards their ongoing personal development. So that would be something that we would look at doing here as well. Some other management best practices are to be adaptive in our leadership styles. There's no set technique, or this isn't a new technique, I should say. It's being adaptive. It should be kind of a common thing. We want to be aware of other powerful cultural groups that value authority when we are looking at how we manage in our workplace. If we're dealing with people in Japan, India, China, places like that where they have more of a hierarchy type leadership style. We want to provide clear and direct leadership and be an empathetic leader as well. We're going to form those diversity committees so that we have positive interaction between different groups and we can foster inclusion, awareness, and communication in our practices. We also want to make sure that our managing employees are handling conflict management. Some employees may not want to work together based on their biases, so it's important for management to get through those biases, make everyone aware of their biases, and help them understand that, you know, meeting other people can be a rewarding experience, and that our end goal is to try to have the work group work together. So we want to make sure that management is on top of anything that could derail that. And then also knowing that some conflict is beneficial because different ideas and different plans aren't a bad thing. We just want to make sure that it's not something huge that derails the whole project. And then creating a diversity plan. Managers can create a plan for employees in the departments and focus on developing the maximum potential of all the employees, creating an inclusive work environment, and becoming an employer of choice. Then it's we have, you know, kind of come to the conclusion here of what the information was that I gathered throughout this investigation. And so now I want to talk about why we, as this global organization, should receive this diversity presentation award for our efforts. So why us? Why are we the employer that you should choose to receive this award? Well, we make great strides in working towards changes and inclusion initiatives for gender diversity within our workforce through proactive and investigative approaches. These changes include fostering an atmosphere and culture conducive to attracting women and gender-identifying individuals and providing for advancement opportunities for everybody within our company. We are hiring, training, grooming, promoting women, and ensuring that they have an equal salary throughout our company. We've developed policies, a culture, and training that reflect our initiatives, and we are dedicated to changing the employee's mindset and realizing companies with higher levels of ethnic and gender diversity perform better. Diversity offers a talent pool, different perspectives, collaboration. We have reduced turnover, improved recruitment and reputation, and customer reflection, and higher profitability due to diversity. We've got the proper planning to succeed and fulfill the business goals. We have strategic alignment that provides that the teams we have are as diverse as the community and the clients in which we're selling our products. And diversity measures are ongoing, and we are adjusting them to fit our needs of the U.S. and the global economy where we're working abroad. And we've looked at Brazil as that possible place. So we're going to be sending some expats and including others in that country for our expansion. So we want to, we're looking at making sure that we know all the cultural differences and that we have a diversity plan to overcome those issues once we get to Brazil. We have a workforce that's built around individual identity and creates an inclusive and inviting opportunity for people to come to the table in their natural being and not under false pretenses, and that allows for us to be innovative and allowing that nobody is more important than another in this process.